Well, hi everyone, it's Marcus, and welcome to more chatting in my jungle room. I'm really excited today because, well, I'm always excited, you know me, but I am really pumped because we are speaking to Neil Anthony, who performs Meat Loaf. Neil, come in loud and strong. How are you?
Righty ho, how are you all going?
Oh, you know what? It's Friday over here right now, isn't it? So we're having happy days.
Well, yeah.
The weekend is looming. And it's only 3 weeks until Meatloaf hits Adelaide. Are you looking forward to bringing the show to Adelaide?
I'm looking forward to it very much. We did the show there many, many years ago. I can't even remember what the venues were, but we had an absolute ball.
Look, I mean, Meatloaf is iconic. I mean, his set list, I mean, his catalog of music is amazing and, very much, legendary now. Everything from, the Rocky Horror, period that he did through to, some incredible duets, one with Cher, one of my
Yep.
favorites. And then right through to It's All Coming Back to Me Now. I mean, just went on and on. I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that. What exactly was that song about? What didn't he do for love?
It was all about shagging.
Oh,
Everything's
there we
about
go.
shagging
Ah, there we go.
and
So
shagging the wrong people.
Neil, why Meatloaf?
I grew up in the 70s in a small country town, and like most people sort of my age, I had to work and I loved music. And the first record that I ever bought was Bad Out of Hell. And that record and the influence that that record had on me growing up was extremely profound. Um, it sparked my imagination. You would just listen, you would just lay there, put the record on, you would just listen to all this instrumentation and all the lyrics and all the stuff that was going on. And it was so the music was so energetic and so dynamic. It sort of made a lot of the contemporary stuff that was happening on the radio and everything just totally disappear. So it formed the soundtrack of it was for my upbringing.
Well, I mean, your vocals are great. Your musicianship is exceptional. So I mean, it blends into the Meatloaf genre so easily and effortlessly. It's all that very
Yeah,
cool rock stuff, right?
and it's kind of funny because I don't attempt to do that. It's just that I grew up engulfed in that kind of music. So I naturally gravitate to that large production, dynamic, orchestral arrangements.
Yeah.
So, and technology for me has changed a lot of the way I work. So I can now do stuff live that I could never have done 20 years ago. I could never have taken a show like this on the road. It was always very um, just the constraints of budget and whatever else. You just couldn't do some of those big orchestral songs, not do them well anyway.
Correct.
So
And,
yeah, now it's great.
and the show is very theatrical, not unlike a Meatloaf show as well. It's very visual, isn't it?
Very, very much so. And I'm really lucky that I've got the two girls. So I've got Charlene Bain and I've got Stevie Renee. And they are both amazing. They make my life so much easier. Because as you mentioned before, there's a ton of big duets, and you need people who can, when you put energy into a song, that they can give it back just as much. Otherwise, it kind of falls over. And
Yeah.
I've got these two girls, and they are just absolutely amazing.
So tell me, if you had to choose just one, what would be your absolute top favorite Meatloaf song?
At the moment, I've got a bit of a thing going on with loving you's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Ah, yeah.
It's a, it's a, it was a massive hit for Bonnie Tyler back in the early mid '80s, and Meatloaf recently did a version of it. And I've been working on an arrangement for it, thinking about putting in the show that's a bit of a hybrid between the two. So I'm kind of loving the lyrics in that because they're extremely cheesy. And there's some really, really funny one-liners. At the moment, I haven't gotten there, but I've been playing with that at the moment. And that's my current fave.
Okay, so with the show that's going around at the moment, because you've just done a Queensland run, which just sold out incredibly, what would be your favorite song to
Yeah.
actually perform at the moment?
Oh, it's always Paradise.
Ah, love
Always
it,
Paradise.
love it. Yep.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Good
And
and
we've added in when Meat Loaf originally performed it way back when. He used to do it. It was a theatrical piece. It was very much a theatrical piece, and it had a script and dialogue, and so there was all these breakdown sections where it would go into a little, it's like almost like a spoken word thing between the two characters, and we've added all of that stuff into the show.
yep.
So we've got little sections where they're in a car and there's all this kind of stuff going on. So it's very much a theatrical production.
So,
So yeah, I'm loving that one.
I like it. Neil Anthony, obviously, I mean, you've kind of given a couple of hints away, but what can we expect from the show? What can the punters expect to see when they, come and sit on the seats, stand up and dance and carry on? What can they expect from it all?
Great singers, amazing songs, and just generally a great vibe for the evening. Everyone who's there just loves the music, and you don't hear it. Those songs, they're not the sort of songs you can just throw together have a couple of rehearsals, go out and do a few gigs. You've got to really study this music,
Yeah.
and you've got to really know it. So you don't hear these songs, and the songs deserve to be played. So that's what we're doing.
And I'm glad. I'm super glad because I'm a fan. Because there are no Meat Loaf shows going around Australia at the moment. This is the only one.
There's a few. You've got there's the Chocolate Starfish guys are doing their Bad Out of Hell thing, but that's just really one set of songs from Bad Out of Hell.
Okay.
There's more. This is probably the biggest one in the world because it encompasses all of the big Jim Steinman hits as well. So yeah, you've got songs from Bonnie Tyler, and you've got songs in there from Celine Dion, and there's a whole pile of stuff that Jim Steinman produced with other artists that Meat Loaf's had something to do with at some point, which it just takes the show to another level.
Stunning. Now let's talk about the bands because the band are pretty impressive as well. I mean, you can't do a Meat Loaf show and do these kind of songs without an incredible band. We've already said that you're an incredible musician, but tell us about the band.
Okay, we have Adam's the lead guitar player. I used to do a lot of lecturing at Victoria University many, many years ago, and Adam's actually one of my ex-students.
Oh wow!
So he studied guitar from me many, many years ago, probably, nearly 15, 20 years ago at Victoria University. He's a great guitar player, lovely guy, general, all-round, great musician. The two girls, Stevie and Charlena.
Yep.
Brilliant singers, great stage presence, extremely energetic, which is great.
You like that?
So they're all over the shop. Oh wow, that's you just sit there and just watch them.
Yeah, wow.
For days, they're awesome.
Well, you can't because you're working
and,
at the same time, but we'll sit there and watch them.
Well, yeah, I've got to look that way, and they're usually behind me, sort of taking everyone's attention from me. Who else have we got? Mick, bass guitar. Is same deal. I worked with Mick for many, many years. And Ivan used to play drums in this show, in my version of the Meat Loaf show back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, wow.
So Ivan's been with this show and doing the Meat Loaf thing for probably the best part of a decade before Meat Loaf did that grand final show, and we sort of gave it a bit of a rest for a while.
Yeah, correct. And Devo, I mean, because how long has he been passed away for now? Probably about 3 years, 4 years?
That's 3 years, something like that. Actually, I think it's a little bit longer than that. And Jim Steinman recently passed away as well. So
yeah,
it's a few years. I think it's just before COVID.
It's a celebration of their work, really, isn't it?
Very much so. Yeah, it's the best of all of what, 50 years of collaborations.
Yep. And some massive banging hits. Neil Anthony, what
Yes,
absolute
huge.
pleasure. You are bringing the show to Adelaide at the Regal Theatre in South Australia, Kensington Road, Kensington Park. And it's going to be Saturday, the 24th of May, which is only just about 3 weeks away, playing at 8 o'clock p.m. Tickets you can find through the link either above or below. But Neil, I am so excited. I cannot even wait to see this. It's going to be a huge night. Expect dancing, expect singing along, and it's going to be a party, right?
Oh, very much so. As I say, Queensland was awesome. And some of the things I really loved about the Queensland shows, there's a couple of big, huge ballads, things like For Crying Out Loud, You Know I Love You. We did this theatre in Brisbane, and while we're doing it, the room is dead silent, and you just hear faintly in the background for people singing all of the lyrics for this song. And it's just the most phenomenal feeling. It's really, really nice.
Yeah. I got to ask,
so yeah, looking forward to
the
it.
Rocky Horror song?
There's a little bit of Rocky Horror in there.
There we go. Awesome.
I tried to avoid it, but the girls were, no, we gotta have Rocky, we gotta have your time walk, we gotta do this and we gotta do that.
The fans want it. The fans want it, you know.
That's it. So yes, the Rocky Horror stuff is in there, but I do keep my pants on.
Well, let's keep it that way for now. Let's keep it adult and children friendly.
There was when we used to do the show many, many years ago, we had because I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I had a spot in it where we would do Hot Patootie, which was the song that Meat Loaf did in Rocky Horror, and then I had these stripper pants made up, and I would yank them off, and underneath the pants would be the fishnets with the stiletto heels, and and that used to scare the hell out of the little children.
Rightly so. Well, you know what? Maybe it could make a return. Maybe this is the encore show of that performance. We'll see how.
Maybe.
All right. Well, you know what? I've got a feeling Queensland was just the warm up. Queensland was just the practice. Adelaide, it's going to go hard. It's going to go big. It's going to be an explosion of freaking Meat Loaf hits. Neil, I can't even wait. Saturday, the 24th of May, a couple of weeks away. Grab your tickets, everybody. Neil, what an absolute pleasure. And I'll see you in Adelaide really soon.
Sounds great.
Thanks, my friends. Have a great upcoming weekend.